Hello, and thanks for joining us today. I'm super excited you could be here because today we're taking two very important things. We're taking CRM and we're talking AI. And we're taking both of these, we're combining them into one powerful way and learning, teaching you how to do this to actually be able to use this to create a pipeline of leads that basically fills itself. It sounds crazy, but if you have the formula, you're going to be able to do it if you have the framework. And that's exactly what we're talking today is the framework that you need to do it. So with us today is Solomon Thimothy. Now, he's a serial entrepreneur, growth strategist, and founder of ClickX. Now, his journey began in web development originally, but he quickly recognized that businesses needed more than just website. They needed leads. They needed conversions. They needed real growth. Now, to meet that demand, he actually expanded into Google Ads, built a highly performing team, and developed ClickX, a platform that actually helped manage his clients and automate marketing operations. Now, this innovation allowed his agency to scale nationally and internationally as well. And Solomon created the 10X framework, a growth philosophy that is actually rooted in doubling every aspect of business from leads and sales to systems and, most importantly, results. Now, it's not just a tactic, but a mindset, an ongoing commitment to solving problems, to actually embracing challenges and to pushing past limits. So the compounding effect of small, consistent wins creates exponential growth, and that's exactly what the 10X mindset is all about. Now, through his agency, Solomon actually helps companies overcome the digital obstacles with deep expertise in SEO, PPC, HubSpot, content marketing, automation, and analytics. His team empowers businesses to scale with precision. His all-in philosophy, combining client dedication with expert strategy, delivers real, measurable success. Solomon, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Ty. That was the best intro I've ever heard. I don't know where we got that from, but thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, you did some really cool stuff. And let me ask you this, like you were at the forefront. We hear a lot about AI, but from what I've looked at and studied, you're kind of on the forefront of this combination between AI and CRM. So tell me a little bit more. Where did this come from and how are you seeing that powerful integration is helping your customers so much?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ty. I appreciate it. And thanks for having me, first of all. The fact that we just got in with the CRM and the AI and lead gen and pipeline, all that is because all our business, every single client of ours are ambitious entrepreneurs. They want to grow their business every single day, 10X. They're running Facebook ads or whatever kind of ads. And we're always in somebody's pipeline, right? So I don't just want to generate leads. I want to generate leads that turn into a booked appointment and that goes hopefully and becomes a customer. And I'm tracking the entire pipeline. So when AI came, we already have a software engineering sort of background. We already have engineers on staff. We're already doing things, growth marketing, which is like, automating one process so we don't have to have a human element in it. And so when AI came about, we're like, hey, why not leverage AI, which is ChatGPT API? When I say this is not like you go to ChatGPT and write a prompt and do something. It's like, how do we leverage that power to make what we do exponentially better? And so, Ty, so the biggest thing that we realized is that if you want to exponentially grow your business, which everybody here probably does, which is why they tune into your podcast, and I think AI is that super who, because it's no longer limited on how many people you can bring on. It's limited on how many ideas you can test and iterate and launch at the same time, right? Like it's like you can do 10 things at once. You couldn't do that. You needed 10 people or something along those lines, right? Like really good 3 people or whatever. And now we can just add more campaigns and ideas, stack it, and not really have any more additional cost or investment to run these campaigns. So to summarize that, what we did is we take the entire CRM data that we have, which is all your customers, leads, prospects, the sources of these leads. And then now AI is going to clean that up and tell you where you should prospect. What kind of customers are your best customers? Where's your best LTV, lifetime value come from? And what are the products that they're buying? That intelligence, I think, is so important so that a lead gen team like us, we didn't have that in kind of insight on a daily basis. We can now use that to say, hey, there's a company that closed. They're a $25 million company that does whatever it is, right? And then we say, well, how do we go find more companies like that, which is called lookalike? We can go literally find those businesses. And now I could outreach to them, add them to the CRM system, outreach to them. And so now my customer is growing based on the kind of customers that they had great success with.
Hmm. It sounds really powerful. I mean, how effective are you seeing this with this incorporation of AI? Because you guys, like you said, you had Teams, CRM, you were doing all this stuff before. Now AI
Manually.
has come into the world and changed everything. So, now you've explained how that's happening, but what's the overall effect? Like, how much of an impact is this really happening? Is this really having on entrepreneurs' ability to be able to lead gen and bring in qualified customers?
Absolutely. So before we all knew our ICP, right? Ideal customer profile. But now you could take that one customer that closed, find customers just like them. Size of company, the industry that they're in, if that makes sense. If there's 1,000 of them, great. Now you have 1,000 basically look-alike of the kind of deal that you close. All of this is so easy to do now, which it would have taken us a long more time. We just need to go to Apollo, put in all this criteria, and you still don't know if they're the same. They all look the same. We don't really know if they're the same. When AI can go and go to LinkedIn and find the keywords of their company description and then find a bunch of them like it, even if it's 12, you got 12 companies of exactly the same of the deals that you closed. You trying to tell me that they don't have the same problem that this customer had, right? Like it's now your job to know you exist because most businesses don't know you exist. So you're living in obscurity. Reach out to these businesses and we automate that for our clients. We don't let them do it, we just do it for them. So we're expanding the outreach, driving quality leads inbound. That all goes to the CRM system, and our customers are just doing what they do every day, picking up the phone, qualifying, right? Having a meeting, giving proposals, whatever their sales process is. Our job is to help them grow that top line or top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel.
So what is happening then in this when we've identified the right people?
Sure.
You mentioned kind of some things with AI and cold outreach. So what's
Yeah.
happening right now regarding AI and cold outreach to these prospects?
Absolutely. A lot of people don't understand how outbound works, and it's okay because outbound is very sophisticated and complicated because Google and Microsoft probably doesn't want to get more emails into their, into their servers that aren't really good. So a lot of people stopped, which is great. It's kind of like direct mail. They just gave up. They're like, forget about it. But guess what? Direct mail is a great medium because nobody's doing it. So you have an empty mailbox. Send them something, they're probably going to look at it. And so because cold email by default, people don't like it. Sounds like you're, spammy and all of that. When you send an email that is hyper personalized, that tells you, hey, I'm reaching out because I saw this, in your last press release, or I'm reaching out because I saw that you just raised money, or I'm reaching out because you just launched a new product, or reaching out because my client that is literally like you has this problem. I'm curious, are you guys facing this challenge in your organization? And it's not the same for the next prospect and the prospect after that. You're no longer sending one to many, you're sending one to one. One outreach, extremely personalized, thank God for AI, that takes into consideration every little data point that they have, writes something, and then sends it out for you. It's like what a human used to do. We called it BD. Sit there and like try to find, commonalities. Does that make sense? Like, oh, we went
Yeah.
to school in we're in Michigan too. Hey, go, whatever. It's much deeper than that. It actually goes in and tries to find all the pieces, saying, hey, I noticed you just hired a VP of something. And typically when our clients do that, this is kind of what they face. I'm curious, are you guys having any of those issues? We're not asking for a yes, let's have a meeting. We just want to know if they have the same surface problems my other clients have. And if they do, then they may have some kind of a deeper problem that we might be able to help. Does that make sense? So it's the fact that you're constantly looking for more business, which is what every business needs. They need a system that drives pipeline. It needs it, right? Like we call that system whatever it is, Facebook ads, Google ads, knocking on doors, or networking events, trade shows. Everybody thinks that's a system. It's great, fantastic. If it works for you, don't stop doing it. But every business needs a system, and I like to build those systems for customers depending on the kind of customers they are and who they fit. We want to build that system, and we want to do it better than a human. Because at the end of the day, like that Joe's going to take a 2 weeks vacation and six days, sick days, and it only works when he's in a good mood. Would you want to rely on that for your business?
Yeah,
He can get a job. He can get a job that's paying him more. And now what happens to your system?
what happens in these systems, and I got two questions on that really.
Of course. Let's go.
One of it, which is that, is what you're saying, is it personalized? Like, because mostly CRMs are kind of, it's always the same, but it sounds like you're talking about developing almost customized strategies to help customers based on their sales process, their kind of customer acquisition formula now.
Yes. Every single client of ours have a unique sales process. We're not going to reinvent their sales process. We want to go understand the sales process, maybe help them optimize a little bit because they're probably doing some inefficient stuff, which is can be automated. And then we want to find the kind of leads that would best fit their organization, right? Inbound or outbound, whether they're coming from inbound looking for what they do, or you're knocking on doors asking if they have a problem. Those are the kind of the situation. And then we want to see that lead through their sales pipeline so we know the kind of quality of people that we're bringing in the door, they fit the bill, if that makes sense. Because nobody wants to just have more leads, but they're not really good. You want to have leads that are actually good and they follow through, whatever the next step is. At least 2 to 3 more steps we want to track so we know they're qualified, they have a problem, they have a budget, there's somebody that's in authority that can make a decision. Those are all good signals, and it's up to the deal, the sales team to close.
Now, what are you seeing in the second part of that question was, well, what are you seeing that this does for the founder then? Because I see too many founders that are just stuck in the business and not working on growing the business. But it sounds like what you're doing with CRM and with AI integration, it's taking the founder out of working within the nuts and bolts and being able to work more on strategy.
100%. Should the founder be sitting there trying to do all this? I don't think it's the best use of the founder's time. Quite frankly, it's not. I would recommend a book. It's called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan. I'm pretty sure you read this, Ty. You got to find a who for every problem in your organization. You are not the who for your own problems. You're the who to find the solution to a problem in the marketplace so you can make money on it, right? Like that's your job. And you're the visionary. You should be only talking about the things that you do and your company does better than anyone else and recruit everybody else that you need to recruit so that you can solve a problem. Now, most founders probably, like myself, because we like to get all technical and get under the hood and do things. But quite frankly, every time we do that, we're actually slowing down the business, not growing or speeding up the business because we could have used that time for something more strategic. Would you agree?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have been on podcasts, which I love being on podcast time. It's the highest leverage of your time. After I leave this podcast, you're going to be promoting it. I'm here to serve, give you all the tips and tricks and everything for our audience so they can go execute this. But like, you're going to be doing things and the podcast lives on forever. How many founders don't do this very thing every single day? I would love to be on a podcast every day. I help, basically entrepreneurs get on podcasts. It's a marketing thing. The reason I do that is because they should be doing that more than anything else. So I'll give you a tip on why podcasts are so cool for entrepreneurs is that I've been on so many podcasts. I love it. And I'm going to do this. Every time you ask ChatGPT about me and the companies, they're all being trained by my podcast episodes where I give crazy ideas and topics for free, right? It's all being trained by LLMs, and you ask them about this, like, boom, here, every day. How do you feed the engine? People always ask me, like, I want ChatGPT to know what my company does. I said, you need to create content if you want to do that. You can't not create content and ask ChatGPT a question. Oh, it doesn't know my business. How much content are you creating? Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. It's just like you said, it's the best use of your time.
Yes, highest leverage. One time, 30 minutes, you're going to promote it. I'm going to promote it when you get me this link, right? It lives on forever. It could be searchable inside a lot of different tools. It could be on the first page of Google. You're going to put me on a show notes that has a link back to my website. That's SEO. There's going to be a unique description on that page. God willing, you're using ChatGPT, so it's got a bunch of keywords of the stuff that I talk about. Highly relevant. I'm not paying for backlinks. There's a million reasons why I should be on podcast 8 hours a day. It would grow my inbound. It would get me more leads, which it has. People will obviously listen to this and hopefully get tons of value and Connect with me on LinkedIn. Does that make sense? I'll nurture them. But entrepreneurs don't have time. Why? They're working in the business, pulling the list, uploading, downloading. I don't know what they do, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the busy work. Let's just call it that. It's the busy work in the business, Michael E. Gerber calls it, not on the business.
Yeah, it's interesting. When we started a decade ago, I would literally hire somebody to build a scraper, scrape yellow pages with no,
I
just
know.
businesses, and then put in my CRM, and that's how I'd email them. Like that was literally what we did 10 years ago. But then I got to tell you, like, these advertising platforms really suck at what you're describing because since they've lost, third-party data access years ago, it doesn't matter what we pay for the lead. Like we struggle to get qualified leads from places like Facebook, et cetera. So I think it's ingenious. You're talking about AI technology within a CRM that can help you actually find the right avatar and then
Yeah,
actually go through cold outreach to reach them. Do you
that's right.
also, what do you do in regards to helping with conversion of those leads? Because you're
Right.
phenomenal with identifying the lead and then reaching out to the lead. But what do you think about the AI technology and CRM technology about actually helping with convert that lead into an actual sale?
Right, absolutely. And I think there's a lot of companies that struggle with that. You could hire a sales rep and give it to a salesperson, but it doesn't mean you're going to close deals, unfortunately, because not all salespeople are equal. So, what we've done and what we do for a lot of our entrepreneurs, especially at ClickX, is that generating the leads is great. You built the system, which I just told you. Now, you need another system that carries that lead through from start to finish. And we built what's called a sales process, a sales system. We call it scale sales system, and every letter has and it basically has a meaning behind it. And so we could train the salespeople on every single step of that process so they don't drop the lead. The fact of the matter is, my customer does not succeed if I just generate a lead. They succeed when there's a transaction, somebody paid to buy whatever their machine is, right? Whatever they're selling. So we need to make sure that all of their salespeople are in line. Let me actually tell you, beyond the training, after you train, and a lot of companies don't train their salespeople, which is surprising. They're your breadwinners. You should train them because if you do, they might just succeed. You never know, right? And so beyond that, after you train them, thank God for AI note takers. It will tell you how well they're performing on the thing that you just trained them on a live sales call. And it would grade their sales call from 1 to 10, and it will tell the manager what the sales guy need to work on. So just listen to these 3 calls. He sucked. AI could do that.
Yeah, that's crazy too, because I don't remember what the service we used to use that did that with monitoring. It's stupid expensive. Like it was more expensive in our CRM just for the call aspect of it. So the fact that that's all part of that is ridiculous.
$60, probably $70 per month per rep. You could have this technology implemented for every business. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we spent 5 to 10,000 a month
I
for
know.
just a fraction of what you're describing. It's
Exactly. Every call gets transcribed real time. You could write you the email follow ups, but that's not what I care about. What I care about is how well did this guy perform on that sales call? Did he get to know the customer? Did he ask questions? Who spoke more, him or the prospect? Did he ask budget questions, timeline? What was the next steps discussed? If I knew that without actually being on a sales call as a manager, and I could have 12 reps and I could tell which reps are sucky, I know who to get rid of objectively, not because Molly's here every day, she's here early, stays late. No, Molly's not a good rep. Molly can't perform because she's not a good fit for this job. Look at the calls, and every rep is being graded on the same thing. Once you train the system, you can ask it and you can know which calls, and you'll know specifically where in the call they screwed up. You can have access to this. That's a great question you asked. How do we get better conversion? This is how we get better conversion.
What about personalization? What are you seeing with
Yep.
CRM? What are you seeing with AI? Because that's the world we're in. It's like everybody
Yep.
wants something personalized to them. So what are you seeing in a trend, and what do you do to kind of address that?
So going back to that cold email, the way that we personalize the email, which every email today, if we write an email, we send it out for our clients, it has to go through AI. We don't send anything that doesn't have an AI in it. So we don't send anything saying, "Hi, Bob, I'm reaching out because, you're in my chamber of commerce." We don't do that. So we got to go to their LinkedIn and we scan their entire LinkedIn profile. And based on that, we write 2 sentences. That is what we call an AI icebreaker that will write something unique and personalized about them before we write about us. And we typically don't write about us, we write about the problem. And if there is a problem, we can have a conversation or whatever. But first is my prospect. And it's 100% coming from their LinkedIn profile. If we don't have their LinkedIn profile for whatever reason, it goes to the website and they will try to find something relevant that we can bring it into that introduction. Every email, every single time.
Is your system then, is there solutions to score, to rate these leads of quality so a salesperson kind of knows which are the best leads to work?
You can. Lead scoring is not new by any means. That would be something you would set it up into your CRM system. And lead scoring, it's like, hey, did they come to your website? Did they fill out a form? Did they do this? Did they actually follow through? Did they spend this many time? Did they go to this many pages? You can have all kinds of little, scoring mechanism and give it a score. To me, honestly, yes, you could have some prioritized leads. The best leads are the ones that have the biggest problem and they may not even go to your website. Like, that, right? The guy that's going to buy a car today is the one who cannot get to work tomorrow if he doesn't get a car today. He's got something happen. It was totaled or it's too old, not worth fixing. He's out shopping today. He's buying a car today. I don't care what the interest rate is. He's buying. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
He hasn't been checking out their website, I tell you that much, for the last 16 weeks. He's not downloading anything. He didn't even know he needed it. That's why I don't typically say that lead scoring is all thing, but for a company with hundreds, if not thousands of leads, and you want to prioritize, it's a great way to do it. So you can at least know who to target. But there's going to be a call that you get this afternoon, probably the hottest lead, and hopefully you don't miss it. That's me. I'm practical.
You have something called the home run offer framework, which I love the name of that. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Right. I think if anybody is trying to figure out a good offer, they should read Hormozzi's book, 100 Million Offer. That's just my first piece of advice because I think that's the best piece of it just gets very technical and he's doing a great job. What I want my customer, because when I'm doing all this cold email, some campaigns work well. You probably know some don't. And we're like, we got the right people. We know who they are. We go through lengths to find these people, but why don't they respond back? We have all kinds of mechanism to know, like they got the email, it went through the inbox or whatever. We're getting replies that's out of the office. That means people are getting our emails. Does that make sense? It's like, it's going. It's not, hey, your email address has been blocked. That's not the email we're getting. So we like to say that there's 2 challenges that businesses face that prevents them from getting that message into the right person to get the sale or the meeting or whatever. And the first thing is getting that niche down, getting who we're targeting. And in many, many, many cases, with all the things, we could get that down pretty tight. But then there's a second challenge we face that doesn't make the campaign any successful is the offer. So what are we saying in that message to these people? They're like not interested. So what you're talking about, the home run offer, is we need to make that as good as this. So if I emailed you today and say, hey, I can get the top guests on your podcast, the ones that people are dying for, and I could get you lined them up for the next 12 months, Ty, would you say yes to my offer? Yeah. You don't have to lift a finger. I'm going to have every author that's alive, that sold 1 million books or more, lining up for you. 0 cost. I'm just going to do all the work. You're going to reply to my email. I'm not saying to make crazy offers that are not realistic or possible, but it was relevant to you because you know how hard it is to get good guests on it that truly wants to serve, right? You know all the work that you have to do or have VAs and all of this stuff. If somebody just made your life easy and they booked you the best of the best, you probably say yes. And irrelevant how much it is, because your time is valuable, right? So if I did it for less than what it cost you, you probably say yes. So if our customers could start thinking about it that way, that this offer also has to be as good, they'll do really well. It's just that many of us are unwilling to think that our offer is not that great. It's the problem. We're just so emotionally attached to it. So we need to change it up. We got to make it easy for them to say yes. We got to make sure that this is standing out from a very crowded marketplace. And if I'm an internet provider, maybe I don't sell anything else, no coax, nothing. I'm going to go straight for fiber and say, hey, my fiber is better because of this. And it's also $52. I'm not saying to be a discount provider, but I'm saying like, oh, really? Because I paid $1,500 for that thing. I'll take a fiber for $52. Like, it just sounds crazy. So, we started to study like what makes viral videos viral. It's the first 3 seconds. It's the things that really get you excited. So I look at that and say, well, how do I make my email viral? It's the first few lines, right? If they don't get past it, forget it. They're just going to delete. So it doesn't really matter all the technology you use to get them into the inbox. That home run offer's got to be good. That's it. Hopefully this makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people out there running ads using a CRM, not getting results like you're describing. What advice would you give to them? And then what have you found in those people's case when they get on board with this kind of system regarding the results they were getting to the results they get after?
Absolutely. So my recommendation is I don't think I have a unique system that nobody else is ever going to figure out. It's just that I'm, like you said in the beginning, I'm just a little bit ahead of the curve. That's all it is. I think everybody's system will be like mine soon, but I'll just be a lot further down because we're in this every day. We innovate, we learn things, we automate, right? Just this is what I have to do to survive. So everybody's got to go to this AI model. I don't know when, sooner than later. Some of the podcasts I've been on, we said, hey, I'll be back in 12 months and we could talk about how much has changed since my last episode. I think that's a true statement of what every business might be doing. 12 months from now, there's not going to be a choice. I don't think a dumb CRM is going to survive anymore. So I'll give you an example of a smart CRM. You get on those sales calls, you have an AI note taker. Where the world is headed and what is possible today is that your CRM is being updated with all your little drop downs about are they using a competitor? Which competitor? What's their budget? It's actually being filled out as you're having the conversation live by AI. It's possible. It happens today if you want it. So who is going to survive 12 months from now expecting a sales rep to remember all those details, not having AI call recording and not having that updated real time? You're not going to be around. I'm sorry. Like, I can't find it because my reps are going to be way more productive than your rep. Do you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
By then, it's going to be AI making the calls too, but you should at least get your people up to speed on what is possible today. So going back to the question of what do I have to say to people that aren't getting the results is, first of all, like basically adopt everything that's possible to become more efficient and have AI be your super who. The thing that does all of the heavy duty should be done by AI as much as possible, as fast as possible. Move towards that and embrace it and get every single person on your team, not to say, oh, it's AI, I don't want to touch it. Well, you don't have a job here anymore. Really, because 6 months from now, we might have AI do more than this. And if you don't like AI now, you're probably not going to like AI then. We might as well just part ways. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what we need. Not talk back and say, well, I don't want to touch it. I don't go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is going to take my job. Like, I don't want any of those people in my world because they're probably not, it's going to be irrelevant in 3 to 5 years. Everything is going to be ChatGPT and Claude and Perplexity and Gemini, whatever the Microsoft one is, Copilot. Seriously, you get into your car and you go to McDonald's. This was a joke I had. You're ordering a Big Mac. Your car is going to tell you you probably shouldn't eat it because you have high cholesterol. Would that be nice?
Yeah, the AI is going to be fueling the car that gets us there and taking your order at McDonald's as well. So
it's like, that's the world we live in. Right now, you can eat anything you want. Nobody's questioning. But pretty soon, I have this thing called Whoop. I don't know if you know this.
I have that.
It's insane. Yes. Only a matter of time when I start eating bad food, it's going to say, dude, that thing gets your heart rate up.
Yeah.
Stop it. Who did you just get off the phone with? Because you're in stress level 3. If it could talk back, isn't it, Ty? It's about to change our world.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And that's how much information is being gathered. I was sick about a week ago. All my signals went off on this thing. It knew that I was out. I was like, wow, this is out. That's bad. Everything's bad. I'm like, oh yeah, I feel it. You don't have to tell me. I'm feeling it. It's insane how much information is being gathered about us, our surroundings, our jobs. So our CRM should have that insight, report back to you, hopefully makes the CEO's job better and the team more productive. You just close more business, less friction, get rid of friction.
Solomon, a lot of people watching this that want to learn more about 10xing their pipeline. Where should they go? What should they do to learn more?
I love it. Well, I got a couple of things. I got great things happening. I'm actually giving a free AI workshop of how we use AI every single day. It's free. There's no cost. And it's running like every 2 weeks because I'm super busy. That website is called scalegrowth.com. Only thing I display is what I do in our 4 walls. We have a couple of teams all over the United States. How we use AI, just pure show and tell. Because I feel so bad that people don't know the basics. Like, just people don't know how to use ChatGPT. I'm like, well, business owners are at a worse, it's more disadvantage for them because they don't know what to do beyond the ChatGPT prompt. Does that make sense? Like, email is not the only thing AI was made for. So I'm going to show things, but we use AI in recruiting to everything. So I'm just going to talk about business development. The second thing is I have a recorded training for anyone who's interested with some prompts and stuff like that. And that website is 10x.info. That's usually the link I give at the end of these podcasts. 100% free. No one's going to call you. You don't have to book a meeting or anything. That's not what I do. I just want people to get better. They'll make more money. That's it. Period. They're happy. Their wife's happy. 10x.info. Just go watch it. Because every time I record stuff, I just update it. So it's the latest one is up there. And I'm also doing live where I can answer questions, show you the tools, show you inside and out, how we make these emails hyper-personalized. Where does the data come from? How do we send it out? How do we automatically update we have clients and we update the website, the service pages, which by the way, Ty, nobody updates their service pages, but we update the service pages based on the pain that real customers talked about on a call. So we put the words in their language, not the language of the business. Nobody did that before. Everybody wrote it. We're the experts at this. We have the biggest warehouse. We have the most fleet. We got the best quality service. That's not what the customer said on the phone. They said, could you do this? Well, this. And I have 3 plans. And we now say we support multiple plans. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
That's what they need. Yes, they don't need quality assurance.
It's been great having you on today. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, Ty. Thank you so much. My pleasure. Hopefully we can connect again.
Absolutely. And listen, if you're watching this, a couple actions I want you to take right now. First of all, go to scalegrowth.com. If you go to scalegrowth.com, you can get access to this free 60-minute workshop on how to 10x your traffic, leads, and sales using AI. It's free, 100% free 60-minute workshop. All you have to do to get it is go to scalegrowth.com. Second thing is make sure you go to 10x.info. If you go to 10x.info, then you're able to get instant access to how they 10x their sales pipelines in 90 days. And you're able to see how they did it without big team, without fancy tools, and without endless content creation, which is what we all want. So 2 places to get free trainings. Make sure you go to 10x.info and make sure you also check out scalegrowth.com. That's scalegrowth.com. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Have a great day.